Hello everyone, welcome back to Resin. It's been a while since I posted the video. If you notice, the background behind me is different. We moved to a new house and I'm setting a new studio, a new environment where I can paint my models. Today I am painting this Vegeta from Tanuki Figures. Finally Vegeta reached Super Saiyan 3. So let's get painting and paint the Prince of Saiyan. Thank you. Okay, let's start with the Zonatal highlight on the Vallejo black primer. This will help the model look more 3D, the depth, and also amplify the highlights when we add the colors on top of them at a later stage. Now it's time to coat the base. I used a modular gold color. Since it's a metallic color, I did a couple of light coats because it's a very thin color and it might drip. Now, second part of the base. First I did a dark red from Vallejo. Tint the paint with Vallejo Airbrush thinner. Mix it. This dark red actually is more with a purple tone in it. It mimics very well the effect from the manga and from actually not the manga but the anime series Dragon Ball Super Dino. This is actually the color of the third demon world where Vegeta fights the Demon King. Okay, Elvic Flesh, and I used this to paint the boots and the hands and any white part of his armor. I did a mix of azure blue and gunmetal to make the pants. I didn't actually like the outcome of this color. For me it was too flat and I will correct my mistake after this shot. I still kept this shot so you will see what I did. Maybe you will still want to do the same because then I added another blue on top of everything. For me it was too flat, so I decided to revise it. I hate masking. As you see, I'm spilling over some of the chest armor, but I prefer to revise it all after than doing masking, removing masking, and sometimes you remove off some of the paint with the masking, so this is my way of doing it. A lot of people might say it's wrong, but it always turned out good for me. Okay, until the pens dry, I went back to the base and I used the transparent red to create kind of a glowing effect. I used the transparent red as a wash and like this amplified the highlights and the details of the base. Okay, Stonewall Gray, and now we are going to use this color to do some dry brushing on the elfic skin white that we used earlier. I wanted to give the boots not just white, that's how they put them in the anime, or how a lot of people paint a Dragon Ball figure, but I wanted to make it look dirty, as if he is really in the battle. Now, this is the mistake that I'm fixing, the part that I didn't like with the pants. I used a metallic blue. I wanted to give it a more vibrant look, his armor, and not just like flat. So I revised the whole blue. I did also the upper part of the armor, of the upper body. I used normal gold from Vallejo, from Model Color, to paint the tip of his boots. I also used the same color to paint the straps on his upper body armor. No, it's black from Model R. I tint this color a lot. I made a wash from it, and I went again and gave another wash on top of the base. When it comes to real stone they are not just one color, and although maybe in the anime it was looking just one color, I wanted to make it pop, I wanted to make it look more vibrant and more realistic. Okay, now the pens are dry. I used the same metallic black and I highlighted a bit, not highlighted actually, did a bit of black in the separations of the muscle to create shadows. And amplify his physique and the muscles. Same goes for the upper body. Now I did a mix of ultramarine blue and bone white, and I dry brushed the highlights to create more depth in this model. Same white I used previously, I'm painting his gloves and the rest of the armor. This could have been easier if I masked, but as I said before, I hate masking, so I prefer to take it the long way and have to paint over and maybe do multiple coats than do the masking. Okay, just a small reminder to like and subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. As I might have said in previous videos, I am no professional painter. This is also my learning curve. I'm learning as I go. But if you want to see more videos like this, please like and subscribe. The white took a couple of coats to cover the blue and the undercoat and previous colors that were there. It is very important to keep the paint very light and thin, so it will not cover any details or any texture on the print. Now, it's time to paint the hair. I started with a lime yellow as the base of this hair. First I tried to do it by brush, and then I was seeing that it's not going to be looking good as if I did it with the airbrush. So after all this, I decided to do it with the airbrush. So I created a base coat, light yellow, on top of everything. And until the hair was drying, I went and did the straps on his shoulders for the armor. Obviously the hair was looking a bit greenish, so what I did is I added a bit of orange in the yellow and started adjusting the tones, the shadows and the highlights and creating more depth in the hair. It's time to do the face. I used pale skin. In manga, all the anime colors, they have pale skin, most of them, let's say. And although I wanted to give it a more realistic look, I still didn't want to use the blue, yellow and red washes for this one. It's always important to keep the paint very thin, so it will not lose any details from the eyes, the nose, or any other details on the face and in the ears. Now I lower the pressure of my airbrush. I added a bit of dark skin tone to the pale white, and I did some highlights on the eyebrows and also some on the cheeks, on the nose, and then I went back with the pale skin again, which is a bit tint, and I faded everything together. The eyes are simple, they were also engraved on this model as part of the 3D, so I didn't need to find the center and make them look not cross-eyed, they were already there, I just painted over the marks. Now I used some stonewall grey and dry brushed his white parts of the armor, and as I did same what I did on his boots, I created like they are dirty and as if that he is coming really out of battle and that he is currently actually in the battle. And for me it turned quite well. Some people they prefer to keep them just clean and anime accurate, but this is my style, this is how I like to paint, and you can leave your comments below and give me your opinion. Now here what I did to improve the gold, how it looks, I did a black wash and I wiped it immediately. This created a bit of depth and texture in the gold of the armor. I did the same on the straps and I also did the same on the boots. Here I decided to add something else on the base. In the last stage I like this color, the fluorescent red from Vallejo, so I just highlighted the edges and the very tips of the base with it. To be honest, it doesn't really show if there is no UV light, but if you add a UV light to it or you have a blue light in the room, that will make a really nice effect. There is Vegeta coming together. For the thunder that is coming out of his body with the energy, I did a blue wash, an ultramarine blue wash, and I just gave them a light coat to give them a very light color. I printed them in transparent, so I wanted light to pass through them, and I just tinted them with a little bit of blue. And I think we can call this model done.